If I had a nickel for every time someone was proclaimed the chosen one, I wouldn't have to do this show anymore.
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the DX9 Carry. So here we are, and there he is. And first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So right here you have a nice picture of Carry, Light Our Darkest Hour. On the side of the box you do have very nice artwork. I like the artwork there. Very, very cool. On the other side you have that same artwork. You do get some quotes here. The seeds of the future are buried in the past. And on the other side you have, what does that say? There is more to you than meets the eyes. And on the top of the box you just have a, as I chuck it around, you have DX9, the one. He is the one. Behind the one in 21 and what? No, it's not. He's the Brock Lesnar of Transformers. Anyway, back here you just have a little schematic of the vehicle mode. You got some more artwork there. You have some words of wisdom right here. It's not just about living forever. The trick is living with yourself forever. It's very good. Very good, sage, salient advice. Very. I appreciate that. I appreciate wisdom on my toy boxes. And of course on the bottom you just get some, warning! Don't try to eat anything in this box and all that stuff. Then you got Daniel right here, and you have Wheelie. And that's basically it for the packaging. And included in the packaging, you do get the obligatory third-party collector's card. A very masterpiece collector's card right there with Carry. And on the back, you got his tech specs right there. And a rundown. Legs contain metal parts, rubber tires, metallic painting, Target Warrior included, chrome version. Yay! And that's it for that. And you also get a poster. Let me move this over so you guys can get a good look at it. I'm going to lay it down here. I will say this. I mean, you guys know that I don't usually approve of the extra fluff that comes with these third-party toys, but this poster is freaking awesome. I love this poster. I love that artwork. I think this is the only third-party poster that will go up on my wall. This looks really, really cool. I love that. I really do. So I forgive them for this because this is a really, really awesome poster. So yeah, this is going up on my wall. But there you have that. So moving right along, here we have Carry, which is their take on a masterpiece Rodimus. And as far as I'm concerned, they definitely did this guy right. They did it a lot better than Takara did it. I mean, for the people who always, rah-rah, sis-boom-bah, fanboy for Takara messed Rodimus up big time. They don't always do it better, ladies and gentlemen. They don't always do it better. But, this guy is actually really, really cool. So here he is in his Winnebago mode. And it looks like, Rodimus Prime's alt mode. I mean, very, very nicely done. Love the chrome exhausts right there. Very nice. Nice blue transparent windshield right there. It is missing, the little wing that's supposed to stick out the front here. I don't care. I know a lot of people are probably going to rage, oh, it's missing that one critical piece on this toy that I will never display in alt mode. Grrr! I don't care because I'm not going to display them in alt mode. But still, it looks really cool. The flame design is actually molded in, which is nice. It's molded in and painted. Very cool. There are some blemishes in alt mode here. So there's some paint blemishes. If you can get in close here, you can see, the paint's right around here, right up here, is a little sloppy. One blemish right here, right up top, I don't know how well it's coming off on camera, yeah, you can't see it, is that this top piece here, as you can see, it's all like scratched up and scuffed up. I did not do that. That came out of the box like that, and that is really weird and really unfortunate. But, again, I'm not going to display them in alt mode, so it's not like you're ever going to see it anyway, so it doesn't bother me that much, but really weird that that looks like that, because it shouldn't. And it's also weird that this one panel is a different color red than the rest of the plastic on this guy, which is also kind of weird. I don't know why that's the case either, but But, you know, get some nice details. Lots of molded details going down the sides here. On the back, you get some bits picked out there in some gunmetal gray. It looks really nice. And he does actually roll quite nicely. He does have rubber tires, which is very, very cool. The rims themselves are actually a different color than the tires. It made me laugh because there was one person on the TFW boards in the thread for this guy that was like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy this toy because they didn't paint the tires pass." And I'm just like, welcome to the internet, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, the rims are actually a different color. You can see the tires are black, but the inner rim itself is actually kind of, it's a little darker than a gunmetal gray. It's just a very dark gray. It's just barely noticeable. Like under certain lights, it does look just all black, but it actually is a different color than the tire itself. It does kind of come off on camera there. So yeah, crisis averted. But yeah, there he is. So let's get down to some comparisons here. So we will start off with, what do we start off with? We'll start off with some other masterpieces. Here he is with MP10. So you can see how he scales there. And, kind of, sort of. He is actually, like, quite small. Like, I didn't expect this to be as small as it was, too, so. Here he is with Lambor, Sideswipe. And again, you can kind of see how that scales right there. And I think he's still a little smaller than he should be compared to Sideswipe. There you have that. Here he is with Fans Projects Protector Armor right here. And you can see how that looks. And pretty much the same size. The Protector Armor trailer is a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bulkier. And what are we going to do here? Let's do some Combiner Wars stuff. So here it is with Voyager Prime. In case anybody cares how it scales with the current Voyagers. There he is with Voyager Prime. And I think that actually kind of works. I don't know. Here he is with Deluxe Prowl. So you can see how it scales with the Deluxe. There you have that. Here it is with Leader Magnus! Just in case anybody's curious as to how it scales with the leaders. Here it is with Leader Magnus. You can see that. It kind of works. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. So you have that. Here he is, of course, with G1 Rodimus. Because it's precious. Rodimus precious. I have that just so you can see how it scales with his G1 self. And he is a bit bigger than his G1 self. I have that. And did I miss anything? No, I didn't miss anything. So last but not least, of course, here he is with the official Takara Masterpiece Rodimus. And you can see, obviously, way smaller than the official one. So there you have that. Yeah, definitely, as you can see, huge size difference there. So there you have that. And yeah. Like I said, he's pretty small. He does compact into a very small alt node. It's not tiny, but it seems like it's maybe a little smaller than it should be. But it is what it is. Now he does include his little Target Master buddy here, who is it's a nicely done robot, and that's as far as I will compliment this guy. But we'll get more into that later. But let's get in on the head sculpt here, get it close. You can see it's a nice head sculpt. You can see he's got some orange right there, blue visor. His mouth is a little open, like, hey, hey! You know, that's just what I think when I see that face. You know, he's black and that gunmetal gray, so, you know. He only works in black and sometimes very dark gray and a little bit of, you know, orangey yellow. So, we have that. But nicely detailed, though. Articulation-wise, no movement at the head. The shoulders are on a ball joint. The elbows are on a ball joint. The hips are on a ball joint. The knees are on a ball joint. His feet are on a ball joint right back here, so you do get a little bit of pivot. You can move it up and down. And that's pretty much it. He does have this gun. You can peg it in back here if you want to. I like the way that looks better, but you can put it in his hand if you wish. Have him hold it as a handheld weapon, so totally up to you how you want to display him. Now, of course, he does turn into a gun, so to do that, you're just going to take this, put this off to the side. You're going to rotate his forearms so that port is now facing inward. Do that. You do want to remove the little wings here from his back, and they just peg in. What? Port's forming? Worst target master ever. Actually, there's another reason why he's the worst target master ever, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Once you do that, you then just want to split him in half, like that. And you'll see there is this tab that will go into the slot. It has to come in from the top here, so it locks in. So you want to angle that in, and that will lock in like that. And then these posts will plug into the ports and hands to lock that in place. With that in place, you want to rotate the leg at the knee here, and you want to take the foot and just swing it around, and this post will go into the port right there in the bottom of the foot to lock that in place. And just rotate this. You can take the wings and they plug into these two ports right there, so just plug that in, and then you can take the barrel here. You can see there's a tab at the bottom that just lines up right here to make sure that that everything is sitting nice and straight like. And there you have him in his gun mode. Let me move him out of the way because he's messing with the focus. There we go. So there he is in his gun mode, and it's a nice, long rifle. It's a very long rifle, and that's one of the things that makes it not work. But again, we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, this is robot mode configuration. You can also bring this foot underneath like that, and I think that's meant more for vehicle mode. There is a port right up top here, so you can take it and just plug it right there. There you go. So you can store him with the Target Master. And yeah, there are a couple configurations for this guy. One configuration is you can pop the wings off, pop off the barrel here, and then you can take this leg and actually swing it sideways. You have to unpeg this, swing it sideways. Bring this around, swing this around, and then this will peg into the bottom of the foot. And that's one of the configurations for the gun. It's just kind of a shorter gun. Looks like it has a sight on the side, The only unfortunate thing is you can only peg in one wing, so that doesn't work because then you have nothing to do with the other wing. There's nowhere for it to go, so that kind of sucks. The only way to kind of remedy that is to just kind of take the foot and just kind of rest it on top of the wing, which then kind of throws everything out of whack, but that's a thing you can do. And again, you can have the longer barrel on it if you want. Again, totally up to you how you want to configure this, but there you go. So we'll put him off to the side for now. So now we'll just get right on down to transformation. Oh, one thing I wanted to show too is you can actually open the cockpit section here. There's no molded seats or anything, it's just the rest of its chest, but you can open it if you want. So there you have that. So let's just get right down to transformation, shall we? So transformation is actually pretty straightforward for this guy. It's not overly complex. So you want to take these smokestacks right up top here. They're on a hinge. Just want to raise them up like that, and raise that up like that. You want to come back here and you want to untab this back panel right here, raise that up, and get that out of the way. And then you just kind of want to start unpegging these side panels right here with the flames. So they just peg in, they tab in right in here, and they tab in right down there. So you just have to kind of get in and just pop those pegs loose. And then you just want to wiggle it past this panel right here. And you're just going to bring it up. Right here you see it's on a double hinge, so you just want to collapse this all the way down like that, and then collapse this all the way down like that. And then you can fold that smokestack right back down. So you got that done. Second verse, same as the first. Just untab that, and then you raise this up. Come on. Like that. Raise that up, collapse that down, bring that down, and there you got that done. So now you're going to untab these side sections right here. Let's see, they just tab in. I don't know if you can see it, but they tab in right there. So untab that, untab this side right here, and then you're just going to bring this whole section up on this double hinge like that, and then you're just going to collapse this panel down and collapse this panel down like that, and then bring that down, and then take this panel and bring it down over everything. And we're pretty much done here. You want to take this whole panel right here and just raise that up and get that out of the way. And there you go. Now, you want to take this side section here and pull it back. That untabs it, just tabs in right there. And then you just bring this down like that, and then take this and swing it around like that. And then you take this section right here, you swing this down. It's on a hinge too, so you have room to operate, and you got these two tabs right here that will go into these two slots right there. So just bring that down like that, and there you go. And now you want to flip out the heel, which can be a little hard to do. Anyway, come on. Yeah. So one thing that's a little difficult. Bring that down, and then unfold the heel spur like that. And there you got a leg all done. Second verse, same as the first. Untap that, it already did it for me. Bring that down, bring that around, swing that down, tab it in, like that. Flip out that heel, if you can. Yeah, come on. There we go. Flip that down, slip out the heel, and there you go. Now I gotta raise the camera, because he's starting to get tall. He's growing. You grow when you get the Matrix. That's what happens. So there you go. So now we're just going to turn this around, and we're going to rotate the legs here at the thigh so they're facing forward. So now you want to take this hood section right here in this central piece and just bring that back like that. That frees up the arms. So now you can take them and bring them all the way down. You want to bring them down at this hinge right here. Just bring them down right there. And then you're going to take this section and pull it up right there. Bring this down like that. Then you can flip up the head, rotate it. And now you're going to take this panel right here and actually tabs in up here. So you want to untab that. Bring that down like that. And then rotate this whole backpack section around like that, and then take the section and just tuck it up right there. And this is on a double hinge, so you just want to bring it up, and these tabs right in here will tab into slots right there and lock all of this into place. Oops. So you just tab that side in, line this side up, tab that on, and there you go. So now we will work on the arms. Actually, we'll just bring these up now. So now you want to bring up the arms. Now you want to bring them up at this joint right here. So you want to bring that up, and you'll see there is a tab right there and a clip right there. So just clip in and lock into place. Remove cat hair from your thumb. It always has to make an appearance. Anyway. Do the same thing on this side, just bring that up, that will clip in right there. And then when it comes to the arms here, you just flip down the hand, rotate it at the wrist. The smokestack, you just want to untab right here, so it just tabs in right there. Just comes down, and then you collapse it onto the forearm, like that. And then this will now tab over this tab right there, like that, to lock all that in place. Second verse, same as the first, just flip down the hand. Oops, hey, got ahead of me. Flip down the hand, rotate, untap that, bring it down, collapse it, like that, and then close this up. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, there you go, my peoples, there you have Kerry in his robot mode, and he looks cool. He looks cool. like I said, the transformation is not overly complex, which I think people will like that because, you know, when things are quote-unquote over-engineered, people complain about it, and obviously when it's too simple, people complain. I feel like this is a happy medium. You know, it's not too simple, it's not overly complex. You're doing just enough that it's just a nice, satisfying, yet, you know, smooth transformation. And I like that. I really like that very much. So, there he is. And he looks really, really cool. Now, this is based off of some artwork that completely escapes my brain because that's what happens when the camera turns on. My brain just goes blank, but it's based off of some artwork. It's based off of artwork. So it's not like slavish G1 cartoon animation model, but it's still, you know, it looks like a Rodimus, and it looks really, really cool. I love the big wings on him, too. I love how far the wings stick up, because as far as I'm concerned, he's Rodimus. He should have bigger wings than everybody else, so. You know, it's like, you know, it's like when a baby loses his baby teeth. It's like when he becomes Rodimus, he loses his baby wings, and he gets his big boy wings. You know, he gets his adult wings. That's the way I see it anyway, but getting closer on the head sculpt. It's a very nice head sculpt, too. Very nicely done. And, you know, he does have nice blue eyes. You get a little bit of silver right there on his head crest. And overall, it's a very, very cool design. Another little paint blemish is that you can see, seems like the yellow right up top here could have used like another coat. It's just a little lighter than the yellow on his chest. And you can see it's maybe needed 2 coats here because it seems like this bit is a little bit lighter than this side. So, again, unfortunate, but, you know, maybe Replaylables will put out a set for it that'll, you know, fix that, make him look nice and pretty. But, you know, just little paint miscues here and there, but not the end of the world. He still looks really cool, and just a very nice design. And yeah, he looks like Rodimus. You get this nice kind of dark gray here with some of the gunmetal gray to kind of break things up. The feet are die-cast, so he has die-cast metal feet, which gives him a little bit of heft, which is nice. You got some silver details right here on the outside of the knees, and very cool. You know, the backpack, I mean, yes, he has a backpack, but it compresses very well, so it's not something that's just overly jutting out. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it works. Considering it's a whole trailer collapsing into his back, it does the job very well as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now, articulation-wise, the head, I think, is on a ball joint. You do get some, not a lot of upward movement, but he can look down quite a ways. You do get some wiggly-waggly movement. The arms can do a full 360. Of course, the wings get in the way, but it's on a ratchet joint. You also get, you know, outward movement. Of course, he knocks himself in the head with his own shoulders, but you get about, you know, like 2 clicks of outward movement. You do get a swivel at the elbow. You do get an elbow joint, but, you know, slightly under 90 degrees of bend there. You do get a wrist swivel. His hands are articulated at the first finger. There's a joint there and a joint there. And then the other 3 fingers are just molded together. So you have that. He does have a waist swivel. Legs can go forward that much. They can go back more if this piece got out of the way. Well, you get, you know, still good range of movements. Ratcheted outward movement right there. You do get a swivel at the hip. Slightly over 90 degrees of knee bend, and it's a soft ratchet. So you have that, and the feet can move upward. You can't really move downward, but due to transformation, they can move upward, and you do get some nice tiltage there. So he was pretty posable. So there you have that. So now let's get into the Target Master and how much this doesn't work for robot mode. So conceivably, let me readjust my tripod here. I'm sorry because I'm noticing that the camera's kind of shaking around a bit. Let me just make sure it's planted firmly here, because when I don't plant it firmly, that's when you kind of get the earthquake action going on. So do excuse me as I readjust here. There we go. That should be better. Maybe not. Probably still the same. Oh well. But anyway, conceivably, he should be able to hold this as a gun. Not really. Not really. One problem is the gun is just way too long. I mean, the gun almost hits the top of his shoulder here. So that's one problem. So obviously it hinders the articulation when you have him holding the gun, because you can't even bend his arm because this is way too long. Of course, you can remedy that by just taking this and putting it in that alternate configuration, folding that up. So there you go. Now he can bend his elbow with the gun. The problem, though, is still the fact that he can't really hold the gun. You can see here, I mean, he can't hold it well. I mean, you can kind of get him to have a grip on it, but then when you start moving him around, boop, he just drops it, and whoop, that popped off. He can't really hold the gun, and that's because this post is way too short. This post needed to be longer, because the only thing he is holding this gun by, I'll open up his hand so you can kind of see. You can see how far this thing goes. I mean, that's it. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's as far as it goes. So really the only thing trying to keep a grip on this is the index finger. The other fingers are not doing anything. And that one index finger is not strong enough to hold on to this. It's just, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And that sucks, because he does make a cool looking gun, but it doesn't work because he can't be held. You only had one job, and he messed that up. But, you know, it just doesn't work because he just cannot hold it. Now, there is a solution, though. There's a solution that I tried out, and it does work. Now, if you have the Takara Masterpiece Rodimus, that means you have this gun. You have his gun. And guess what? Oops, if it doesn't fall apart. Clip, clip, clip. Stay together. There you go. Stay together. Well, now you don't want to stay together for me? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? That's one thing I never liked about this gun, is that it didn't like to stay together. There you go. Now it's going to pop apart again while I try to do this. How dare you? Dare you make a fool of me? I can do a good enough job of that on my own. But, anyway. As you can see, he holds that perfectly. I mean, he holds it perfectly. So, that he has no problem with, because as you can see, the handle is long enough. Now, granted, because of the tabs on the sides, he holds it a little bit cockeyed. He can't hold that handle flush, but still, he holds it perfectly. I mean, granted, if you start to move him around a little bit, he'll eventually start to lose his grip on it, but he still holds it a lot better than he holds this. So, if you absolutely must have him holding a gun, and you have the Takara Masterpiece Rodimus, just give him this gun, because he holds it perfectly. Perfectly! So, there's a solution for that. Again, not perfectly, because of the tabs. You can always shave down the tabs, and he will definitely hold it perfectly, but he maybe doesn't hold it perfectly, but he holds it a lot better than he holds the gun he's supposed to hold. So, that's all I'm saying. There is a solution. If you absolutely have to have him holding a gun. So, there you have that. One other little gimmick he does have is you can open up his chest here. And he does have a little matrix molded in there. It's not removable, it's just molded on, but you know, it's painted in silver, a little jewel in the middle. It's painted a nice metallic blue. So, he does have his little matrix in there, which is nice. And, yeah, so there you have that. So, for comparison, here he is with Masterpiece Prime, and we'll bring in Sideswipe too, just so you can kind of get a sense there of the scale. You can see it's probably like a hair shorter than Masterpiece Prime. So, there you have that. We'll bring in some Combiner War stuff. There he is with Voyager Prime. There he is with Deluxe Prowl. Obviously, he doesn't really fit in there. He fits in vehicle mode, but not so much in robot mode. Here he is with Leader Magnus. You can see, yeah, he's definitely too tall for the Combiner Wars line. What else have we got? Here he is with Chigger. You can see a little bit shorter than Chigger. Right there. There he is with Apollyon. You can see a little bit shorter than Apollyon. And what else? Here he is with the Protector Armor, Advanced Projects version. You can see obviously way shorter, but that's intended for a totally different scale. Here he is with G1 Rodimus, causes precious, chosen one precious. There you have that. Here he is with Masterpiece Magnus. You can see how they scale. That seems about right though, because Magnus, I think, is supposed to be taller than Prime. Well, I mean, Rodimus, rather. And here he is with the official Masterpiece Rodimus, which, if you remember, was a QC nightmare. So again, Takara doesn't always do it right. I mean, 99% of the time they do, but this was a case of no. And this is the first run that I have, and I'm surprised he hasn't exploded yet. I was really scared transforming him. But, yeah, you can see, I mean, yeah. That's my professional opinion. But, yeah, as far as Carry goes, I really like him. He's a very cool figure. A very cool Rodimus Prime toy. Again, it's not slavish G1 animation model, so it might not fit on your Masterpiece shelf perfectly, but he still looks good with the Masterpiece dudes. And a very, very well done figure. You know, just aside from a few, you know, little cosmetic blemishes, he is very, very well done. The only real downside of this set is just the Target Master. He really only has one job, and that's to be a good gun, and he's not, because he cannot be held properly due to this really, really short post. So he fails at the one job he has, which is being able to be held as a weapon, and does not work. So this is the one downside of the set, unfortunately, because that just, it does not work. Like, I mean, it's a 5mm peg, so you can't have other, you know, you can't have other robots holding them, and, you know, it works just fine. You know, if you want to give this to some other robots, you totally can, but as far as Carry, Carry can't carry this, unfortunately. Kind of ironic when you think about it, but as far as this figure goes, really cool, really like it. I'm very impressed by it. So there you go. If you would like a Carry of your own, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There will be a link in the description down below, so check that out. There will also, get out of here, motorcycle guy outside. I don't know if you heard that. You can also check out my third-party Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below, so check that out as well. And I think that's pretty much it. So don't forget to check out EmGames, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the DX9 Carry, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud. Palm in your face! Hey, Roddy! Bet you wish you still had this, huh? Who's the Prime? I'm the Prime. 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 Do you always have to do that? Man. Who got the Matrix? Prime got the Matrix. Who got the Matrix? Prime got the Matrix. Who got the Matrix? Prime got the Matrix.